All right, kind of, we're supposed to be live now. All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakakodash. A double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS Great Millstone, and a sincere Shalom to Yakim, bringing out this word in diligence and in truth. And we come another week through the Spirit, to bring an edifying lesson into the body, Lord willing. And as you see, the topic, it says, "Don't lack on your estate." Colloidal silver, and it's a spirit because me and his brother Abiyah were talking, previous to actually the lesson happening, and the spirit had it to where certain things got revealed for us to, step up even more, in our walk, man. So ultimately, the conversation started off with health, and then it got on diet, which is still a part of the health, and because both are a necessity. The herbs you intake as well as the food that you consume. These both have a huge, they play a huge part in, a state. Matter of fact, I grabbed this word here, bro. The word estate. Can you see it? I'm not sure if you can.
I see it.
Yeah, it says estate from the online Edom, and it says estate meaning rank, standing, condition, right? Condition or health, right? It says health, which that's what the point of this particular lesson is on the health aspect. And now we got to say, just because um, Esau's he'll take off our video. This is not medical information, but you do with it as you
Kind
will.
gotta say that disclaimer. Anything said in this video is for informational and educational purposes only. We are not giving medical advice, and we are not, doctors or medical practitioners. None of that.
Gone, you know. And with all this, understand that regardless of what you take, intake, as far as herb wise, it means nothing if prayer isn't involved, you know. So yeah, I got a precept right here, bro. Coming
Kind,
from the book of Sirach, the 30th chapter. I'm
spirit.
not sure if you want to read it or you want me to. It don't matter.
I'll read it for you.
Baba Kashah, 30 and 15. It's like at 30 and 14.
Kind. This is the book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 30 and verse 14. Better is the poor, being sound and strong of constitution, than a rich man that is afflicted in his body.
Yeah, that's plain, man. Better is says a poor man who is sound and strong of constitution,
Mhm.
right? Matter of fact, I want to look up that word constitution,
Kind.
see if we can get anything on it.
And
Constitution.
while you look that up, I just want to make a quick point, based off what you were saying, as far
Con,
as the
con.
state of your body. The way that the Lord programmed our bodies, man, is He made our bodies to where it communicates with us, and a lot of health issues come from a lack of adhering to that communication that your body gives you. It's just like driving a car. When you when you drive in the car, right? If you have any kind of issues that pop up with your car, what do you get? You get a light. And the,
Hmm.
and the way our bodies work, the this the likeness of a light coming on your car, you may get a certain pain, you may get you may be losing sleep, you may be low in energy, you may get some acne, you may get, it's different things that your body does and reacts to your health,
Con.
that it communicate with you.
Hey, that was a beautiful point, bro. Hey, because the scriptures tell us that we have to examine ourselves daily, and that's the health in the state is a part of that examination. Knowing when you need to stop eating a certain thing or when you need to add something into your diet, because like you said, your body gives off these warnings or signals to let you know, okay, yeah, I got a headache right now. Okay, what's the cause of this headache? Am I low on sugars? Am I low on
Right.
salts? Have I eaten too much grease? Have I eaten today at all? Those
Yep.
those are the warnings, or those dashboard lights, so to speak, that your body gives you to let you know, hey, there's a problem. We have to fix this. Is it stress? Like you said, is it no sleep?
Mm,
Right? All those are factors that play upon, that estate. I have that word constitution, bro.
you got it.
And it says it right here. It says, in a sense, mode of organization of a state. What's like it right here? Meaning action or establishing creation, It says from the 1400s, it says, way in which a thing is constituted, that of physical health, strength, and vigor of the body,
Mm.
of the mind, temperament, character. Yeah,
Hey,
kind
and doesn't the scriptures call our body the temple of the Most High?
of, kind.
Yes, we we acknowledge that from the spiritual aspect, from the mental aspect. You want to be mindful of your mind, the things that you feed in your mind and that you intaking. You want to be mindful of your spiritual health and making sure that you in line with the will of the Heavenly Father. But a big part of that is your body as well, man. A lot of people, like when they, just using the analogy of the car again, a lot of people, believe it or not, some people will put tape on their fucking on their dash just so they don't see those lights that's illuminating. Or, if they start getting a sound in their car, they turn the music up. And that's what Jake do with their body. You getting these pains and you make excuses about it. Oh, I've been having back pain, No, it's just I've been working long hours, or I just I slept the wrong way or something. No, nigga, you've been drinking too much fucking soda.
Right,
You've been drinking too much liquor. You know?
kind.
Fuck it, you got it.
Nah, it's a perfect point, bro. It's this lady at the plantation, and she overheard her talking, and she was telling somebody, yeah, I just went in to the doctors the other day for my heart. They're saying there's something wrong with my blood, and my heart is beating too fast, so they put me on a certain prescription for health problems. And I'm thinking, bro, every day this lady is cracking open a Monster Energy drink. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, damn. I mean, do you not see that your actions are causing this problem? You're drinking a Monster every morning, bright and early, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. You're literally feeding your body poison, and you're wondering why you sick.
And bro, that's facts. I went through that personally, and not to that extent, but it was back when I was working security and I was working fucking night shift, and I was drinking at least one Monster every night, and then to the point to where one night I had got this sharp pain in my heart, and then
Mm.
from that point on, I'm like, I'm not drinking that shit no more, and I haven't drunk no Monster since, man. And like, you was gonna say something?
No, no, it's on you. It's on you. I'm
Just
agreeing.
a testimony. I'm not gonna say exactly who it is. I'll let you know afterwards. But
Okay.
somebody that I know came to me and was like, "Hey, can I drink pure cranberry juice by itself, or do I have to dilute it?" I'm like, "No, you good. You can drink it. You can drink regular cranberry juice." She like, "Oh, because I've been having some pain in my kidneys, and I'm trying to flush it out from drinking too much." This
Mm-hmm.
this individual, and I'm like, "Yeah, you can drink the cranberry juice, just how it is. You ain't got to dilute it or nothing." And she like, "Oh, okay, cause I want to flush my kidneys out before I go out drinking tonight." And I'm just like, I just left it at that. And you know, you ignore your body, you eventually you're gonna pay for it.
Absolutely. Absolutely, and it's very easy to, because we get caught in the cycle of repetition. You wake up, you go to work, you come home, you eat, you do whatever. As far as us, we come home, we study, do lessons, read. But for these everyday people, they come home, eat, lay on the couch, watch a season of a show, eat again, get back on the couch, drink, and then do the same thing the next day. That's not really beneficial unto you. It's really harming you. There's no exercise within their diet. A lot of
Mm.
people complain about energy. Hey, well, here it is. You have to expound energy to create it as well. You know what? You have to feed that engine in order for it to run. You know, a lot of people, oh, I'm tired. Well, go to the gym. You'll feel better, and then you'll really be tired to where you'll be well rested with
Yeah.
your sleep. You know,
Or speaking on, like you said, people say I'm tired. Okay, it's like when some people get tired because they're eating too much, and it's
exactly.
like you can put gas in your car all day. Your car is not gonna necessarily, if you put in the wrong bullshit type of gas in your car, it's not gonna the gas tank hole is not gonna close because it knows that you're gonna put bullshit gas in it. It's
Right.
gonna accept whatever gas you put in it. But what kind of gas are you putting in your car? What kind of food are you eating? You can eat food all day, and yeah, you may get a little bit of energy for a minute, but then that crash is gonna be something else, man.
That's right.
You wonder why you tired all day, or you don't got no energy. You know, just want me to
Kanye,
reading
go ahead, bro.
uh, back in Sirach 30 and verse 15. It says, "Health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth."
That's plain. Health and good estate of body are above all gold. Hey, what good is it? You know, if you're a king, for example, when you go into the book of Second Maccabees, you read about Antiochus Epiphanes. Here it is. He was the king of the Grecian Empire. You know, had all types of treasures, had dominion over the known world at that particular time. Hey, but due to his pride, Yahweh Shemel Shai sickened him to the point where he was bedridden. You know, the Lord gave him gangrene and rotted his insides from out, literally,
Mm,
to the point where his living body, his functioning body became decrepit, and he had worms growing and moving throughout his body that could be seen. And the scriptures say an intolerable stink.
mm,
You know, to the point where his soldiers couldn't deal with it, and to the point where he couldn't deal with it, man. And ultimately, his estate was through. You
mm,
know, and that was due to pride. But it's the same fact that if you don't take care of your body, then to you're not gonna have that beneficial life. It's the spirit. The elders did videos on it. Elder Kraut is out here in our camp. He did a lesson on that dude D'Angelo.
yeah, yeah.
Extremely talented Jake, man. Extremely talented. Dude played the keys, played the bass, played the guitar, you know, drums, but he smoked cigarettes, you know, constantly. So regardless of how talented Jake was, he died of pancreatic cancer, man, because he didn't take care of his body, you know. And I have that precept there in the book of 1 Corinthians 3 that you
Yeah.
quoted, bro. 1 Corinthians 3 and 16. I'll read it for you. It says, "Know ye not that ye are the temple of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and that the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you?"
That's it, man. Hey, the Most High, He made this flesh. Even though in this time we're in low level flesh, we're still in these bodies that the Lord made for us personally, man. We have to take care of it. It's like you living in a house. Okay, just because it's not the house that you want to live in right now, you still got to take care of that house. You have to maintain that house. You ain't just gonna be living like no damn slob, man. Like you said, the Antiochus Epiphanes account, it was due to pride. Well, there's a pride is pride. There's different levels of pride, and there's different things you can be proud about. But it's when you neglect your body and your body's telling you, that you need to change your diet, you need to cut certain things out of your body, or you need to add certain things to your body. If you ignore it, that's a level of pride, because you just like, nah, I've been getting away with it for this long, or I've been doing it this long. I ain't had no issues, so you're gonna keep on doing it. But eventually, hey, you're gonna start seeing those, and hey, for some people it happens harder and faster. For others, it may take a little time, but don't tempt the Lord, because at the end of the day, we have to take care of our bodies, man. That's
That's
a
right.
must.
That's right.
Apostle Gabar been going into that heavy lately, man. He went into recently about the seed oils, and if brothers and you few sisters that may listen, if you don't know about them seed oils, man, that shit is fucking terrible for you. Different oils have different levels of. First of all, it's toxic. You're not supposed to be extracting oil from seeds anyway, but as far as eating it, certain oils have different boiling points,
Okay.
and the lower the boiling point on that oil, the more toxic it is. When it reaches that boiling point, it starts releasing toxins. Okay, that's why you should
Right.
not be cooking with like coconut oil, different seed oils, um, flax oil. You
Yeah.
should brothers shouldn't be eating with canola oil. Stuff like that. That stuff is terrible for your body, man. It's the saturated fat. It's not the good fat that you need.
Okay.
You should be cooking with your it should be primarily the extra virgin olive oil.
Yeah. Kind. Even on that, you have a beef tallow.
Yep.
And certain things of that sort. It's a certain. I can't think of what the butter is called, but it's basically like all the water out of the butter is is dissipated from it. You know,
Mm,
I can't think of what the exact name is. It's a little bit more in this precept here, bro.
got it.
It's verse 6 to like 17. It says, if any man defile the temple of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, him shall the Most High destroy. For the temple of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is holy, which temple ye are.
Yeah. And a lot of people they quote that scripture, misquote it, and they'll say, oh, it's not what goeth into a man that
No.
defiles what proceedeth out of him, and they use that as an excuse to eat all forms of bullshit. Just earlier today, matter of fact, I was watching this dude I watch. Benjamite, and he be chefing it up, man. He be making some good food. But then I came across this one video of his, and he like, oh, we're gonna cook something exotic today. This nigga's at the fucking market about to cook some damn frog, and I'm like, that makes sense. And I kid you not, bro. Literally before I seen that video, I'm like, I was looking at Jake and I was looking at his face, and he's like, he has a lot of he has like, I don't know how to explain it, like a textured face. Is he like broken out?
Kind.
And I'm just before I seen that video, I'm like, Jake probably be eating some bullshit too sometimes. So I scrolled down a couple more videos, and then I came across that video, and then I'm like, oh, okay, makes sense. And it's like, you can't be defiling your temple, man, in a spiritual way, being given to these other ideologies and different religions, and all of that, but
Okay.
also taking care of your body, so you can be able to serve the Most High, man. So you can be able to be able-bodied and move around.
That's right. Yeah, that's right there, bro. I got this word vigor because it was brought up in that same uh, definition for a state and constitution. Right here it says physical health is for that word constitution. Right? Physical health, strength, and vigor of the body. And this is the word vigor here. It says physical strength and good health. Plain, because we need both. You need the strength in order to navigate and move around, and you need the good health in order to remain strong. You can go to the gym all day. If you're not getting a proper rest, then you're doing your body a disservice. You can eat all the quote unquote good foods, but if you're not going to the gym and working your muscles, so to speak, then you're also doing your body a disservice.
That's
It has
right.
to be a proper balance of both. The scriptures even speak of in the book of Timothy, bodily exercise is profit little. Hey, but that little does count. That little does matter. The scriptures tell us not to be ignorant of anything small or great,
That's right, bro.
and that's one of them. To be able to have mobility of your limbs is something that when you get older, you lose it. That's because what? A lot of people haven't built up those habits when they were younger and moved into those older ages with something like stretching, something like the elder Amon Gabar always goes into calisthenics. This brother here put me on to calisthenics.
Uh,
That it sounds like it's simple, but it's really you using your body to push towards its limits essentially by using your own body weight. you
yeah.
know and it does get difficult. People talk about weightlifting. Wait, well, you just having that full range of motion. Because another thing, not to go off a tangent,
Oh no, you got it.
but one thing through the spirit that you notice is that when you were younger, you had the full range of motion. You had the mobility. You was hanging off the monkey bars with one arm, so to speak.
Yep.
You were doing all these movements that were natural to you. Your ligaments were spongy. Your cartilage was intact. Hey, well, as you get older and your body wears down, those functions lessen. But when you get into that calisthenics mindset, and eating right, along with the proper balance, then guess what? The Lord does allow you to, get that function, oil back up, man. And it's
Bro, that
beautiful.
that's
It's like,
yeah.
go ahead, bro.
No, it's a lot, bro. That's like us getting back to that way that we was when we was kids, man. Like you speaking on, you having you being more susceptible to injuries. Your bones is brittle. You're not able to have the same grip strength that you used to when you was a kid. And it's like we going backwards. And you can have all the muscles you want to, but how many bodybuilders drop dead, because they got bad heart, or bad blood circulation, or whatever issue it is, but they look like they're healthy on the outside, but on the inside it's like stuff ain't functioning how it's supposed to be, man, because you're not getting the same exercise as you used to. You're not eating the same. The food, as we get closer to the end, bro, the quality of food, as we know, is getting more and more shit.
Right.
And that's it's really our custom to eat well and to be mindful of our diet, but we went astray from that because we in this fucking captivity. You know, we haven't been raised to, you know, to eat vegetables when we was kids. You know, kids, they always say, "Oh, I don't like vegetables," and they push the, you know, they push the plate away. And
Right.
but when you see, when the kids see some chips, they glow up. When they see some fucking some Capri Sun, they glow up, and it's not supposed to be like that, man.
Okay, kind. Agree, bro. Agree. It's a beautiful point that you just brought up. You know, a Esau weakens you. He weakens your mind in terms of imagination, and he strips that quote unquote innocency of thought. You know, from you. You know that freedom. You know, and he bars you up by the confines of time. You know, time is weaponized against you. Hey, so that same you know things, those same things that you once did. You know, even in terms of talent. You know, brothers play instruments and do all different types of things, sports, so on and so on. That's stripped away from you here, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it was one point that you brought out in terms of those bodybuilders. Here it is, those dudes are that big, but they can't, you know, bend down and scratch their calves. You know, they're swollen in terms of physical hardness on to the shell, but their insides are rotten.
Yeah.
Hey, they're taking all different types of injections to get bigger, all different types of steroids, hey, which is having adverse effects on their body. Hey, that causes them to certain of them to have kidney failure, you know, uh, um,
Yeah.
liver shut down and shit. You that big and you ain't got no proper liver. So what good is that, man?
Yeah.
You
Just
know?
like, you know, just sticking with the analogy of the car, bro. You know how many cars I've seen that they look cold on the outside, nice, and then that you start it up, it's screaming, you know, the belt the belt screeching and shit, or you know, that you get to driving it and the exhaust is you know, it sounds funny, or it's driving rough. It's like, okay, it looks nice, but what, you know, how's the functionality of the vehicle?
Yeah.
That's what really matters, man. Your body, man, and your I just got, matter of fact, I got a few things that I just jotted down that came to my head
Come on,
of
let's get it.
bad health, you know, bad diet causes. You know, you got insomnia, which is, you know, the inability to sleep. A lot of people they just accept, oh, I'm just an insomniac. You know, I've always been like that. Well, maybe it's something that you've always done that made you not be able to sleep properly. You know, low energy. You know, we spoke on that, low energy. And a one thing that I came to realize just from personal experience is the most important things, you know, as far as the time you eat is when you first wake up and before you go to bed. And the beloved elder Uriah, when he came out,
Come.
he said, you know, bro, he was encouraging brothers. You know, brothers really shouldn't even be eating past 6 p.m. And it's the truth, because when you eat past a certain time, your body has to digest that. It don't matter what time of the day it is. Your body is going to be working to digest whatever you ate. Just because you sleep, your body not sleep. Your
Come.
body's always working. So if you eat at 9 p.m. and then you go to bed at 9:45, you're not most likely you're not going to have a good night's sleep. And then when you wake up in the morning, your body been so busy breaking down whatever you ate that you're not going to have that energy that you could have had, you know, the next morning. You know, I'm trying to get into the habit of eating, you know,
Me too,
fruits
bro.
before bed, and when I wake up, I try to, you know, not eat anything heavy. You know, bad skin, dry hair, brittle nails. Those are all a result of a bad diet. There's other things that play a role in it as well, but most of it is from bad diet.
That's
You know,
right.
digestive issues. Man, I don't know how many times I done went to work and I go in the bathroom and it smelled like somebody threw a fucking dead rat in the toilet. Because you know, don't get me wrong, you know, hey, feces is feces, but yo bowel movement shouldn't smell like something died. You know,
Right.
it's not
Right.
supposed to be that bad. You know, and brothers have been recently getting into the chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is something that it clears your pores. You know, it I believe it helps with your gut as well.
Yep.
You
Come.
know, it helps with your armpits. You know, stinky armpits and even you know your private area. You know, it helps to deodorize that.
That's right.
You know, you got the unusual blood pressure, irritability. A lot of people walk around always irritated or mad, and a lot of that is life circumstances or whatever you may be dealing with. But a lot of that stems from your diet, man. You mad because you just ate some soul food. Yeah, it was good, but it's not all about taste buds. You know.
God, they got a grease demon on them, bro.
Yeah, bro. And that shit is real. And these foods that we eat, if sometimes we'll go out to eat and it tastes good, but you don't know the fucking grease that they cook in your chicken sandwich been in the pot or whatever the fuck it is for a month.
God,
And grease is black, but that chicken sandwich was fire though. Excessive
God,
mucus, dehydration,
man.
man. You can go on and on and on, man. There's so many things. And I wanted to Salakia. I wanted to
Go ahead,
touch on
bro.
well, man. As far as which brothers should know not to be drinking out of the damn sink, tap water. But as far as like bottled water, if you look on the back of your water and it says ingredients, you shouldn't be drinking it. When you drink water, it should not have an ingredient list. It should only be as is. You shouldn't have I forget what the actual ingredient is,
This
sodium
shit like
bicarbonate.
a Con, yep.
What I believe it's essentially salt or some shit, and it's like it makes you thirstier, and it just shouldn't be in there. You should just be drinking water. It shouldn't be no extra added ingredients in there.
That's
And
right.
those who may have digestive issues, try drinking some carbonated water. That helps with your digestion as well.
Huh?
Slovakia.
Sit that topo, bro.
Yeah, bro.
That topo cheap.
Yeah, you don't got to necessarily get no Saratoga or um what's the other one? The mountain
Shit. I know what you're talking about.
Spring Mount Valley Mountain, Spring Valley.
Con.
Hey, that's if you can, hey, by all means. But hey, we do what we can.
Yep. Con. We gotta go back into that Ciroc 30.
All right.
Uh,
Back to Sirach 30. I'll read verse 15 again. It says, "Health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body and above infinite wealth." Excuse me. It says, verse 16, "There is no riches above a sound body, and no joy above the joy of the heart."
yeah, with that sound body, especially a man or a woman of older age, you're able to enjoy the lives of your children and your children's children. You know, here in this estate, Jake, a lot of Jake have never seen their great grandparents.
Mm,
And that's due to our great grandparents were the same ones that had to eat off that plantation diet. You know, I know as far as my grandmother on my mother's side, she actually sharecropped. She picked cotton. That's 2 generations away. But I never met her mother.
yeah,
And that's because what partly diet. Along with the curses and the rest of it, but diet plays a huge role. Jake loves pork. They love shrimp, crab, lobster, shellfish, and all abominable things, man. You know, and
yeah,
all that shit kills you. And it's a spirit because Yahweh Shema Shai is having to where those same creatures that Jake find to be delicacies, are being radiated, and
mm-hmm.
they're getting sick from eating them, man. You know, which is hey, if you're still eating shrimp in 2025, hey, then you just want to die, man.
Yeah. Shame
You
on
know,
you.
you want to get sent back to the spirit world. Come on, we can hit that 17.
Verse 17, "Death is better than a bitter life or continual sickness."
Plain and simple, man. Hey, you go to these hospitals or old people's home and you see them just through, man. No family around,
Miserable.
them on a bunch of medications. You know, hey, they're ready to go because hey, their function is gone. Well, what good is it if you're still alive and you? Hey, that dude Stephen Hawking.
Mm,
Here it is. He's alive, but this fool can't even move his. He can't even move the hand. He can't move his hand. What type of life is that? Here it is. They're calling that man one of the smartest men to ever walk the planet. Hey, he couldn't figure a way out of that wheelchair though.
right.
You know, you that smart, but you can't talk for yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Got a robot fucking voice and shit. I wanted to get a quick reset based off of what you just said. Sirach
Con,
11 and verse 25. It says, "In the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction, and in the day of affliction, there is no more remembrance of prosperity." You know, just like them devils, them Rothschilds, man. Which they, they just one of many or a few of many, but you think they was worried about how much money they got in the bank or how
right,
much resources they got when they was sitting up there getting surgery over and over and over again because of those health issues? No, they wasn't thinking about that shit. They was like, man, I hope this shit goes well. I hope
right,
this is a successful surgery. I hope this medication works. But it's not those things it alone that heals you, man. Those are devils, man. And just like any of you Israelites out there that may be listening, if you wicked, you can take as many herbs and supplements as you want to. It's not going to work if the Lord don't make it work. That's why it don't pay to be proud. It don't pay to be self-willed, man. First and foremost, hey, praise Yahweh Shem Shai, man, and ask for that healing. Ask for that increase in health.
con. That's right. Hey, spot on, bro. I. We can get into this as well. You got Yaiquab, this AI and shit, in order to
Mm,
get certain answers that are true, right? Because the topic of the lesson, is overall health nonetheless. But we did want to touch in on this colloidal silver, because being that Yahweh Shemal Shah is bringing forth pestilence, we understand that we're not immune to these plagues. We still have to live through this world as these scourges hit it, right? And sicknesses, more and more are about to come down the pipe, man. We're in the midst of the changing of seasons. So your immune system ultimately has to be adjusted to it in order to weather the storm, so to speak.
mm-hmm.
And one of those you can call it a herb, or you can call it just a health tincture, so to speak, is colloidal silver, man. Right. So I got it right here. The benefits of colloidal silver, right? It says, hey, as we said, this ain't medical information. Whatever you try, yeah, you try it, but through the spirit, and we know how this works along with prayer. You know, it says colloidal silver is a suspension of microscopic silver particles in liquid, often marketed as a dietary supplement or natural remedy. However, and I'm gonna read the whole thing just so they. However, its claimed benefits are not scientifically supported, and health authorities such as the FDA, NIH, and Mayo Clinic caution against its use for internal consumption.
Of
Hey,
course.
but here, right. It says claims, made by supporters. It says it acts as a natural antibiotic or antiviral, which is said to kill bacteria, viruses, and fungi, boost the immune system, supposedly helps the body fight infections, aid wound healing, used topically for burns, cuts, and skin infections. It helps with respiratory illnesses, sometimes used improperly in nasal sprays or nebulizers. It says it supports skin health, which is said to reduce acne, eczema, or fungal infections. Now, they talk about the health risk, and like we say, whatever herb, certain herbs that work for other people, may not work for everybody. You figure out what works for you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because brothers have all different types of different health conditions. Brothers got all different types of diets.
Right.
Even though we generally eat healthier, certain brother may not be able to eat as much bitter due to his gut biome, so to speak,
Yeah.
right? But that doesn't mean he doesn't eat bitter at all. You know, it's just a different balance into it. Certain brothers can stomach she legit without taking it with anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's very bitter. Other
Yeah.
other individuals may need some water with it.
Come
But nevertheless, the herbs are here for that usage. Can I grab this quick pre, bro?
You got it.
Con, this is Sirach 38 and verse 3. And it reads, the skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration, right? Because there's a difference between a physician and a doctor, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And you wanna speak on that real quick?
The word doctor means to falsify, man. At the end of the day, a doctor is an actor playing a physician. Okay, a
Hmm.
physician is somebody who actually has the knowledge of the remedies and the different medicines from the earth, not the what you call that shit,
Pharmakia.
yeah, I'm just yeah,
Con,
the herbs that the Most High made. Matter of fact, we can grab that.
brother, for sure. Yeah, because here it is. A lot of Esau's quote unquote medicines or prescriptions, they are petroleum based, and a few of them do derive from the herbs, but then you have a lot of poison mixed with it,
Mhm.
you know.
Like you
So
always speak on the white willow's bark. When it comes to the Thailand, I damn, I don't
yep,
even know how to say it, but
yeah,
your
kind of
pain m- your pain medication,
medication,
right? That you
kind
take the headache or when you get stomach ache or whatever, carpal tunnel or some shit. You take these different medications and it has all of these different scientific names of ingredients in there that's not supposed to be in there, but it also has white willow bark in there, which is natural, and it alone can take away that headache and heal that pain and that discomfort that you're having in your body. But they gotta have it's a difference between healing and treating, man. With
that's
what
right.
Esau offers, it only treats you, and if that, but then it also, the things that Esau offers you, it also gives you other problems in place of the so-called problem or solution that is given you.
Kind, that's right. That's right. You said you got a pre, right?
This is Sirach 38, and I'll start at the top.
God, this is spirit.
Oh, you was already there, huh?
God, that's on you, bro.
Fuck you. you,
Let's
you
get
got
it.
it. This
No,
nigga
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
like it. It's honor. It says honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the uses which ye have of him. For the Lord have created him. All right, the Lord created the physician, man, not the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it says for the Most High, excuse me, for of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the King. All right, and the scriptures tell you that of the Most High cometh healing and sickness and life and death, all of those things. Hey, if when somebody's bedridden with some kind of ailment, it's because the Lord put them in that condition, man, because of something that they did. When the Lord heals somebody from a terrible illness or something that was plaguing them, it's because the Lord wanted them to be healed. Plain and
Yep.
simple. Verse 3: the skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration. The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Okay,
That's
to
right.
abhor means to avoid. Okay, if you have wisdom, if you have knowledge, you're going to be mindful of the herbs and the supplements that the Lord made, man. And again, we in this captivity in this low level as bullshit kingdom, so we do what we can with what we have. But brothers and sisters out there, you should be looking in your area for different herb stores. And if you don't happen to have any herb stores in your neighborhood or in your particular city, you can go to uh, apps like Etsy, and you can get different herbs off of there. You can look up certain man. Hey, do some research, man. Look up some um different websites and different sources where you can get those herbs and those supplements, man, and use them.
Come on.
Be mindful of where you're getting your stuff from, but hey, use them.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah, that
That's
was the
right.
point.
Come on, this some more here. Um, we had to yiquab the system in order to in order to get a little bit more information out of it. But here it is. We just read this one, and now it says unsafe or not effective for internal use. Now, what we're gonna do is we ask some questions, right?
Mm,
Because here it is that these metals were naturally occurring within the earth before Esau Edom came over here and stripped the land of those resources, right? So basically, we asked the question: before the British came over and slaughtered the Native Americans, which is the tribe of Reuben and Gad, It says, what metals were flourishing in the lakes and streams?
Mm.
They answered, that's an excellent and insightful question, and you're right to connect the pre colonial landscape of North America with its natural metal richness. Before Edom colonization, the indigenous people, Jake, lived on land that was naturally abundant in metals and minerals, especially around the Great Lakes regions. And here, even in Nevada, man, Nevada is known as the Silver State, right?
Mm.
And it was called that due to the um, the natural occurrence or the heavy natural occurrence of silver, right? So it says here's a breakdown of what metals were most prominent in the lakes, rivers, and surrounding lands, and how they were used before British, French, and Spanish arrival, right? It says native copper, the Great Lakes, Michigan, particularly Lake Superior, Isle Royale, and Keweenaw Peninsula area contained pure natural occurring copper that required no smelting. Nuggets and sheets, hey, that means it was 100%. It didn't have to be melted down. It was straight pure. It says nuggets and sheets of copper were found in riverbeds. That's crazy seeing a sheet of copper naturally found in a riverbed. But this is how the Lord created the earth. You know.
Bro.
Yeah.
And just like, and that's how you know the devil is in rulership right now, because he don't give the earth no rest. That's why it says there's not a more wicked thing, a wicked man than a
And the
like,
covetous
yeah,
person.
there's a wicked thing, a covetous. This
That's right,
man,
bro.
here it is, the Most High made these things to be, they have their uses. And yes, we use the precious metals, the gold, the silver, the copper, zinc, so on and so forth. But this man, he wants to extract everything so he can heap it into himself and just sit on it. Some of the silver and some of the gold was made to just be left alone. Just leave it alone. Just let it be. But he
Con.
wants to fucking take it and smote it and put it in bars and put it in some big ass safe. But some of that is meant to purify the water, and it's meant for us. It's beneficial for us, man. You got it, sloppy.
That's right. That's right, bro. You know. Even the scriptures in the book of Sirach, the 39th chapter, it speaks about the principal uses of man, of a man's life. Those metals. I don't believe all of them are listed like copper, silver, and iron. I believe iron is though. Iron is definitely on it. Matter
I
of
can
fact, can we grab that Baba Kasha? Yeah, yeah, and then we're gonna get back into this Sirach 38 after that.
Sirach
It's
30
yep, it's
and
on.
for the 25. It says, "For the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil and clothing. All these things are for the good, are for good to the godly. So to the sinners they are turned into evil."
Yeah, that's right. So it lists metals on that list. It's certain trace metals within salts. Apostle Gabar always talks about the Apostle Gabar and Apostle Tahar always talk about that Celtic salt,
Yep.
right? Where it has trace minerals and metals within it. Iron. Hey, just going back to this list, hey, these were things that were naturally occurring within nature that Esau's ultimately messed up. It says for um, it's like where is it at? It says for all these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinners are they turned into evil. And that's why they become less of their perfection, so to speak. They become tainted because the whole world is tainted here, right? So going back to this here, it says silver, right? Which is going on to that colloidal silver. It says often found with copper deposits. It says occurred as native silver or silver copper combinations in natural metallic veins. Less common than copper, but some native cultures incorporated silver into ornamental and ritual items. Here it speaks about iron, lead, and zinc, and your body is lacking these minerals. So to take these supplements, it'll actually be beneficial to you. You take your zincs, you take your potassiums, you take your there's another one. I can't think of it. Zinc.
Mag-
Yeah, magnesium. That's what it is. Magnesium. A lot of people are iron deficient.
yeah.
You know, and that in itself will cause blood related issues.
Yeah.
You know, I have family members that went through, you know, that problem. You know,
Get
it
cold
says
fast.
exactly, yeah, anemia,
Mm-hmm.
anemic, Salaki. It says gold and other minerals. So here it is. You know, now we gonna go ask some more questions. What health benefits did that silver water have on the body? You know, because that's where a lot of that silver were flowing through those streams. You know, even when Esau came over here, he said Gad didn't know anything about the common cold or sicknesses. You
Mm.
know, Esau brought that stuff over here. That's where you get smallpox and the destruction of our people from. You know, Esek ass came over here with
Yep.
those blankets and different diseases and ticks, you know, so forth and so on, and that helped destroy our people, right? So it says, what health benefits did that silver water have on the body? So that's a fascinating question, and it touches on something that ancient indigenous peoples did understand intuitively long before modern science could explain it, right? Before Esau could get his hands on it and then try to say it was a medical disinformation and shit, right? It says historical uses and what modern research says about the real health effects of silver and water, uh, sometimes called silver water or colloidal silver. There it is. So essentially, we're getting our answer without asking directly for it, right?
Mm.
It says historical and traditional use. Before industrial colonization, silver bearing water, natural water that passed over silver rich rocks or streams. And that's also why real silverware, you know, actually benefits the body, you know, because you're getting those trace minerals
Mm.
into your body while you're eating. You know, it may click on the top of a tooth or something. You know,
Yeah.
well that little piece, that microscopic piece that just came off, it enters into the bloodstream,
Yep.
right?
Hey, because when you speak about the colloidal silver, it's measured in parts per million, which is ultimately just little particles of the silver. So that's on
Exactly,
point. And like
exactly.
we supposed to be drinking spring water. We supposed to be drinking the water straight from the source. We shouldn't have to go to the store to get it out of a fucking plastic bottle. We should be able to go to the nearest uh stream or waterfall or something to get that water, man. And it naturally excuse me, it's naturally supposed to have those minerals in there, from the natural salts, the magnesium, the different the iron, all of those different minerals that the water travels over is supposed to be in our water, man. But he's stripped the fucking earth. So now you got the distilled water, and which those that has its uses, but you ain't supposed to be drinking that. There's no health benefits from drinking distilled water.
That's right. That's right. And even going into the jewelry that you wear, that's why when Jake put on fake jewelry, it break them out.
Mm.
You know, when you got that real silver, that real gold, that real copper, and not only do Jake shine with it on, but there's benefits to wearing those things. Like brothers wear, this copper bracelet right here. Brothers make copper jewelry, you know. So it's benefits to that because what happens is, even wearing that jewelry when you're working out, what happens is your body sweats. You know, the heat from your body it draws into that metal, and it breaks down that metal as well, and you get microscopic or parts per million of that metal, you know, getting into your body then,
And
right?
that copper even helps with certain pains you got. That's why this devil will go and make copper fit.
God, yep, that's right, bro. On point, right? It says the water was often prized, or the colloidal silver, right? The silver, it says, was often prized for its clarity, coolness, and purity. This wasn't superstition, right there, right? Silver actually has natural antimicrobial properties.
Mm.
Ancient Persians, Greeks, and Egyptians. It's funny to say these three because these three nations ruled over us. But
Mm.
it says they store water in silver vessels to keep it fresh. Native tribes near Lake Superior sometimes drank or used silver rich spring water, noting that it didn't spoil or stay clean longer.
Bro.
Silver coins were historically placed in milk or water jugs to delay spoilage because silver slowly releases ions that kill bacteria and fungi. Like we said, this ain't medical information, but Esau admitting admitting it himself.
That'll look
So,
beautiful.
kind. So
Like,
this in itself, lets you know, hey, but he'll give those disclaimers up top. Oh, it's bad. Shouldn't be. It's unsafe and not effective internally, right? Advises use against it for a supplement. But here it is. He's letting you know that, hey, there it is, right? The
seriously.
scientific explanation behind it. Hey, but this is a. What are you about to say, bro?
No, I was just saying what it said. Not conspiracy.
Yeah, yeah, kind, right? So to go here, this is the scientific explanation. Hey, these are e words, man, right? It says when silver is in contact with water, so like trace silver ions, um, Ag plus, right? It says are released. These ions disrupt cellular or bacterial cell walls, interfere with microbial DNA replication, block key enzymes needed for bacteria and fungi to survive. That's why silver compounds are still used today in wound dressings and burn creams, catheters and surgical tools to prevent infection, water purification systems, especially in space and remote areas. So the antimicrobial benefit of trace silver in water is real. You ain't even got to read the next part, right? It says possible health benefits, kills bacteria, promotes healing, preserves water, topical skin cleansing, right? Now, here it is. It says health risk when consumed internally, right? That's funny, but
But up above they said it's not recommended for internal use.
hey, bro,
Hey,
hey, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices.
right. But then he'll turn around and he'll make plastic bottles that leak into your water. You got BPA, you got
Exactly.
microplastics, and they say we the average human eats about I don't know how much, I forgot the number, but too much fucking
Yeah.
amount of microplastics each year because of the bottled water, because of the different everything that we use. But you got you spoke on the silverware, the real silverware. They got it up in pawn shops and these different uh metal dealers, and
Yep.
they just hoarding them or they're selling them, and it's like, man, this shit got to go, bro.
Yeah, it does, bro. Matter of fact, let's look it up. Price for silverware. Shit. All right. Hey, 144. Hey, call on y'all about you shot. Right. But as you see, it's nothing. Hey, this isn't real silverware. Right. As it says, stainless steel. The price
Mm,
alone let us know that wasn't real. And for a 45 piece, this ain't real silverware either. And how do we know that? Hey, well, the price of 1 ounce of silver is what, 45 bucks right now for just 1 ounce.
yeah.
And we're talking about cutlery and silverware made by pure silver. So it's going to be expensive. Let's see if we got some real prices in this thing. Let's see. Yeah, this shit ain't real.
Oh, we.
It said $15.
Bro, so I looked up some sterling silver forks and spoons.
Con.
Yeah, I see a set of two forks, two spoons, and a butter knife for 1,300.
Woo! That's the real deal.
Shit.
That's the real deal right there. 1,300.
Hmm.
You get 2 meals out of all that.
Yeah.
You know, you even got to wash that different.
Yep.
You know, but just to get back on it. Now it says drinking colloidal silver regularly is unsafe. Well, nobody's down in a liter of colloidal silver, man. That's just not realistic. Now
Mm.
drinking water with silver in it is as it says here, natural silver and water helped keep it pure and safe, which indirectly supported health,
Hey, just like
right?
any supplement or herb, you're not supposed to take it in large amounts. You're supposed to, take it in moderation. Find, like you said, find what works for you and dose it. I believe you're supposed to take the colloidal silver. as like you said in the beginning, as a tincture, with a dropper, or you can take like a cap full of it. But you
Kind.
drink too much of it, you're gonna get a stomach ache.
Exactly. Exactly. So they spoke about all the different usages of how E uses it in various ways. So I told them that it's like a we told them to tell us more about the NASA silver ion water filters, which is just ultimately a water filter that E uses in his NASA stuff, man. So it is the real deal in that. And it tries to give us some history. We're gonna float past that madness. But it says, how does this translate to the applications? It says emergency and military water purifiers, portable filters and camping gear, home and hospital filtration systems, swimming pool sanitation systems. All these have silver within it, man.
Mm.
And it's plain, right? Hmm. Yeah, that in itself shows you, right? Russia uses silver ions in order to purify their stuff. And the Babylon uses iodine. Easier to monitor, but you got to remove that shit later. Like you said, we got to get out of here, bro.
Counterproductive, man.
Yeah,
Fuck is iodized salt?
right, right.
Iodine.
So you spoke about this part in terms of the ppm or the parts per million. There was one part I did want to touch on, right? Because it speaks right here, natural silver levels in the environment. It says in nature, silver occurs only in trace amounts. Hey, well, it's doing that now, right? How often have you seen or went into a lake or a stream and seen a clunk of silver? Shit, not often. Shit, never really,
Yeah.
because Esau stripped the water from it. But in the times in which Gad and Reuben were over here by themselves, hey, silver was far more, what's the word? I don't want to say prevalent.
Like
It
present.
was, yeah, present in the water, bro. It was far more present in the water. So these ppms, were far greater, far higher. And you get a colloidal tincture. It's like a colloidal silver tincture now, and it's typically gonna be above that 50 ppms. Now you have some that are 10, 20s, hey, but we got 70 and up. The stronger the strength, the better for you. So yeah, man. Um, can we grab that back in Sirach 38? It's,
Okay.
and then we could close out on that unless you got some more, bro.
Uh, Go back to Sirach 38. You want to keep reading down?
Khan Baba Kashab down to like 9.
Uh, I'll read verse 4 again. It says, the Lord have created, so like it is, Sirach 38 and verse 4. The Lord have created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Was not the water made sweet with wood, that the virtue thereof might be known? And he have given men skill, that he might be honored in his marvelous works. With such doth he heal men, and taketh away their pains. Hmm. And such doth the apothecary make a confection, and of his works there is no end, and from him is peace over all the earth.
Khan, and that confection is like a balm,
Hmm.
or a tincture, right? So that's the point, man. It says, and with such doth he heal men. Ultimately, we understand healing comes from the Lord. Right? As we said before, you could take all these herbs, these tinctures, but if Yahweh Shemar Shah doesn't activate them, hey, then you're gonna still be sick, man. It's about praying and asking the Lord to allow those herbs that He created to heal you, man. If you're not praying with it, then it's no good. It's a mindset thing too, you know, of expecting what you're praying for. You know, but
And
it's on
it's
you.
like the precept that I'm thinking of. Let me see. Oh, I believe it says before judgment, examine thyself. Just
Done.
to land back off of your point of when you taking these herbs, to pray for it, but don't be like Bishop Nate and wait until you get in that situation to want to start praying to the Lord, man. You should be a being mindful, man, considering the Lord in all your ways before that day comes, man. So by chance, if you do have to deal with some kind of virus or some your body's under attack from something, hey. then you can pray to the Lord in sincerity. But don't wait, just be doing your own thing and not being mindful of the Lord. And when you get sick and you want to start asking for help, man, hey, be doing your part as well, man. So that if you do ask the Lord for something, the Lord can remember you.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That goes to that verse 9, bro.
Verse 9, it says, My son, in thy sickness be not negligent, but pray unto the Lord, and he will make thee whole. Mm.
Huh? There it is. Be not negligent, meaning what? Hey, when those warning signs on those the lights on your dashboard pop up, hey, don't just fan them off, man. Pay attention to what your body is saying. You know, you have to master you first. You have to know how your body reacts to these things. There's a measure in which you have to learn how these herbs benefit you and what dosage, right? Jake go hard. I ain't gonna lie, Jake go hard on the herbs, man. With certain things, oh, this is the daily usage or the usage per day. Hey, well, you got to figure out if that's the usage per day for you,
Right.
you know, or what amount is, you know.
The scriptures say, prove thy soul, excuse me, yeah, prove thy soul and thy life, and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it.
Yeah, that's right.
Learn yourself, listen, like you said, listening to your body. Hey, when you get these certain supplements, they automatically come with that dosage, the recommended dosage.
Yeah,
But hey, for you it may be less. For you, it may be a little bit more. Like like when I take ashwagandha, for me personally, they'll say like you can take 2 capsules a day, but for me, I can take like 3 or 4, and I'll be just fine. But I had to learn that about myself of me actually taking it.
right.
That's
That's
all.
right. That's right, bro. That's right. You got any closing pre's?
No, that's pretty much it right there.
That's the point, man. So hey, don't lack on your state, man. Pay attention to what your body is asking for. You know, you also have to sleep. Don't forget that. We spoke about it in the beginning, but sleep is crucial in healing. That's why when you get sick and your body shut down, what does it do? It hard resets so that it gets that sleep. It makes your body or it forces your body to shut down and sleep. You know, but that's pretty much the point. Use the herbs in which Yahweh Shema Shai gave us. And most importantly, pray so that those herbs can be activated because we're coming into a time of much pestilence. He is about to bring forth all different types of disease and biological warfare into the people, man. You want to make sure that you're guarded up, and not just the physical, but the spiritual, most importantly, because through that, Yahweh Shema Shah is going to take care of the rest. That's pretty much the point. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying into the body. We want to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Harakah Kadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of James Great Millstone, and a sincere shalom to Yakim bringing out this word in diligence and in truth. Shalom.
Shalom.